Good morning, all. Are you able to hear me fine? All right. Good morning. Okay. So let's get started now. Today we shall focus slightly more on what you call uh, building of positions. Okay. How to enter. Now, ideally, now you know what are the important levels and from where the stock can react, etc. Okay. So let's see. Uh, so, who's gonna answer this? Gajanan. Gajanan, can you hear me? Okay, I'm unable to hear you. Prasad?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Prasad, what is the most important criteria or the most important indication that you will get on the report that a huge amount of positions have been built?
Is the breakout of volume and the delivery quantity.
Very good. So, breakout of delivery quantity will indicate that there is a big amount of positions which have been created. Correct?
Right.
Okay, very good. Now, let's have a look. Guys, can you name any stock? Let's see if that can be used as an example. Please take Titan. Okay. All right. So let's see. Titan is the stock. So okay. Let's look at say 1st July. Then we'll look at September. Sorry, August, and then September. The same stock. Okay. So this is the report, right? So Rinku.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Titan started trading in the month of July. Okay. And when Titan started trading in the month of July, okay, these were the positions which were getting built, right? Now,
True.
if you only read the deliverable quantities from here, where is the first biggest breakout that you are able to spot?
So, if we will say on the second day and on the third day also, sorry, no, not third day, second day.
Okay, this one.
Then on fifth,
Okay,
on
fine.
fifth, it was around 8 times.
So when we are looking at the deliverable quantities in the current month, do you see it is roughly 3 lakhs?
Yes,
And do you see this is roughly 17 lakhs?
yeah, true.
Okay. So 17, say, divide by 3 is roughly 5.6 times, right?
Right,
Okay. Now, when it is 5.6 times, okay, something would have happened here, right?
right,
Okay. Now, let's look at the price. It opened at around 869 and when it closed in the evening, it closed at around 836. Okay. So something would have happened, right?
Right, sir.
869 to 36. Now, let's look at it. How can we trade this? We will use the concepts that we have learned till now. Okay, we'll use the concepts that we have learned till now. Okay, so nothing new. Okay. So that is July, right? Over here. This happened on 5th of July, correct? So this swing, I'm sorry, this particular activity happened on 6th of July. Now, if I roughly go here, I say Titan. So there is an underwriting level at every 20 rupees. So 20 rupees, the underwriters get active, right? Now let's see. On this day, when this big position building has happened, huge position building has happened, on this particular day, see, the price touched 860, right? It tried in the morning going above 860 because you came to know that it's a delivery volume breakout only in the evening, right? Correct? Only by evening you got to know when you were reading reports, it featured in your report with a 5-6 times kind of a delivery volume breakout, right? And if you look at it, it's a volume breakout, correct? It's a delivery quantity breakout, and it's also a price breakout. See, 882 is the low and 836 is the close price. So the price has also broken out on the downside, correct? Now, if you look at the structure, it's a gap down, correct? It's a big gap down. It didn't even touch this low. Okay. I've already taught you that whenever liquidation gaps happen, I gave you the example of assets and liabilities one day, right? Okay. 5th of July. 4th of July it is 11 lakhs and 5th of July it is 61 lakh. So is it not a breakout? Okay, fine. So vis-a-vis the last day, okay, and this I'm looking at a rolling month. I am not even looking at the previous month, correct? I'm not at all looking at the previous month. I'm just looking at the rolling month and trying to see that can I make some money out of it. Okay. So it's a price, volume, delivery, breakout. Price, volume, delivery, all three parameters have been broken out. Okay. Now the first thing that comes to my mind is it's a great fall, right? With a great gap over here. So maybe this is because of a liquidation imbalance. Okay. Now see, if it is a index stock, it cannot go away in one night. Okay. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been included in the index. Yes or no? Now, say for example, Yes Bank is under great pressure right now, correct? But is it part of the index? Right? It is part of the index, right? See, index is a great reflection of an organization. Okay. Now, all these 50 companies, they are the handpicked best with best financial records. They are handpicked kind of a companies in the index. Now, just imagine there used to be a company called Just Dial in index, right? There used to be a company called Arcom in the index, right? Arcom, Just Dial, they used to be in the index, right? If you remember, they were first thrown out of the index and then the great fall started. Yes or no? Right? So, till the time they're in the index, okay, it is very difficult to make something fall that much in the sense from a trading perspective I'm talking. From a trend perspective, it might be falling 10 rupees, 20 rupees every month, okay, which is a different thing. But otherwise, coming down from say 1400 rupees to say 200 rupees and still staying in the index is something which is a miracle, right? It doesn't happen, okay? Because all these companies are picked on their market capitalization, and tell me, if there are problems in the company, will their market capitalization not start eroding? And when their market capitalization will start eroding, will they not be thrown out of the index? Okay. So if something is thrown out of the index, get short on it big time, there's no problem. Okay. So most likely that stock is losing on market index, market capitalization plus stocks are also thrown out of the index based on their compliance. Okay. So till the time it is in the index, okay, so there is a less reason to worry. So the same way, all these are like Bargat Ka Ped, right? All these companies. Okay. If they rise too much, they can't sustain. If they fall too much, they can't sustain. Okay. Because if they rise too much, investors will exit because they will find it profitable, right? Okay. If they fall too much, investors will enter. Okay. So they are always on a slippery slope as far as big movements are concerned. Now, let's look at this Titan. So on this day, there was gap and all that. So it touched around 600, 860, right? So on 5th it happened. It opened. The open price is see where? It's below the low, right? 869, right? Then it cracked 860 level. Yes or no? Then it cracked 840 level, right? And it closed. See, it closed below 840, which was the underwriting level. So it came down. Now on the very next day, there was again a gap down, right? Now what is the next obvious level? The next obvious level is 820, right? Now what comes to my mind when I look at such cases? Over here, there is a delivery volume breakout and the price direction is downwards, right? So it has been sold off, right? It has been sold off, completely sold off. Now, if it has been completely sold off, guys, it means what? If somebody has sold, somebody will also have to buy. There's no option. Correct? Somebody will have to buy. Otherwise, they will have to delist Titan. Right? But the thing is that if somebody has sold, somebody has also bought. So I need to, since the price has come down, I'm now expecting that a huge amount of buying has happened in this stock, because otherwise, why did it stop here? It should have gone to 440. Why 840? Getting my point? Why is it stopping at 840? It should go to 440. Okay. Now, let's see. If you look at this structure, okay, if you look at this structure, don't you think that it was the last time since then it was able to kind of fall from here and then it started moving up big time? 800 levels to 900 levels, right? So it was a very big move, right? Most of the cases, 90% of the cases, this is what will happen, because the investors would love to enter a stock which is falling. They will never buy a stock which is rising. They will always try to enter things when there is blood on the street. That is the investor psychology, correct? Because they can make big money by doing that only. Now, say, for example, if they entered, say, around 800 levels or say 820 or 850 levels even. Okay. Now, from 850 till this day, a few trading sessions, okay, their investment went up by almost 20 percentage, right? Sorry, 3 or 4 percentage, right? Just these many trading sessions. And thereafter, from this place to this place, they made a good 10% return on capital. Correct? So, when it comes to investment, they would like to do this. They would always like to do all this. Okay. Now, let's see. Now, I want to trade this and I want to make some money from my trading for my trading business by utilizing this particular fall, or it could be other way around also. It can be a rise. Okay, we'll take an example of rise also. Okay, let's see if we get one. Okay, so this date fell, correct? It's falling. Now when it is falling, it kind of broke 840 levels and it closed, right? So is it kind of telling us that on this particular day, 840 seems to be a kind of resistance, right? Okay. Now, the very next day, the trading starts. Okay, you never jump in a delivery volume trade on the very next day. Okay, you can do that, but there is risk, okay, involved. Now, what is our understanding that there had been great buying? कहाँ तक बेचोगे भाई? मतलब, it's an index stock. It is not a PC jeweler, right? Which is a small pidasa stock lying in some corner of the stock market, correct? It's Titan. It's not PC jeweler, right? So if you look at it, on this day, did it fall and it stopped at 820? And from 820, did it bounce back to 840? Yes. Okay. So it is telling us it has formed a range. They would be selling around 840 and they would be buying around 820. See, it got locked within this range. See, the close is here, right? It actually got caught in this range. It told us that now it has formed a range formation. See, 820, 840. Next day, let's look at it. Do you see it is the same range? Okay. Do you see it as the same range? Do you see it change the range? Right? It changed the range 820. So it was in the range here and it changed the range. When it changed the range, it should fall, right? The first thing that comes to your mind is most likely it should fall, correct? Okay. Now, let's see. If it has to fall, do you see that it has gone above 820? Okay. Now, after it went to 820, from this level, did it break? See, it broke the low, right? There's a 5 minute chart. It returned back and it fell till this point, right? Now, what should happen? If it has to form this as a resistance, 820 as a resistance, then the swing should get lower, right? And the upper swing should get, so there should be weakness. It should start forming lower highs and lower lows. Am I right? Okay. Then from this point, it started breaking the highs again and it went up to this place. Okay. You'll get to know whether it's a high or not after it has broken the low, right? So here it has broken the low, then you come to know that it is a swing high. Now, when it is breaking the low, did it go till this point? Okay. All right. Okay. Now, after it broke this high
Sir,
only, then you got to know that this is a low. Hanji.
hello, sir, my question here is, sir, for the first low, which it created on the first line you draw, okay, and it went up again, it didn't break the high, and it came back and it closed a new under the new low. What if it didn't close under, I mean, it didn't create a new low, it closed somewhere above this low, and then it went up and then came back and create a new low, then also it will make resistance here, right?
You are actually trying to
But it should,
assess, did the, see, when it broke out like this, it can even go up, no, to 840.
yeah, right.
Okay, what we are trying to see is it returning? Is it a break inside?
Yeah,
Now, how will something break inside? If there is weakness from where it is breaking out, right?
right,
Okay, if it is breaking out from this level, okay, then it will indicate you that, okay, yeah, if the if every time it tries to go inside and it is pushed inside with the more momentum, then it is becoming weak. This area, this resistance is becoming strong and the price is becoming weak. So the chances of break inside is very high.
right.
Okay. So you will start, let it go out. It went out till this point, right? And it stopped breaking highs. See, when it went outside 820, would you agree that it went out clearly? 820 के बाद चला गया. Clearly, right? And after that, from this candle, did it break low? Okay. I always say the color of the candle comes later. Okay. See, it started breaking low. It broke a low here. Now, when it broke a low here, you got to know that, okay, most likely this is the first top that you can use. Then from here, did it start breaking highs? See, it broke high. When it broke high, it is telling me till this point it went, okay, then it is coming back, okay. Now it is going to this swing top. Now it is coming till almost this point. Now it is going till this point. The moment this low was broken, this low, did you get to know that there is weakness? Once it started swinging down again, this swing is lower than this swing, and this swing and this swing is lower than this swing, right? When it again started breaking lows here, you got to know that, okay, yeah, there is weakness, right? Correct? Okay. If you entered the trade here, most likely it will now go to roughly 800 levels or yesterday's low, whichever is higher. So, say you entered the trade at around 818 rupees, okay, and you exited this at around, say, 805 rupees, okay. What is the distance? 13 rupees, right? Roughly. So this 13 rupees you can keep. Okay? Are you able to understand this? Okay. Now, all right. Now, on this day, did it close in between 800 and 820? It, see, here it came down and it changed the level. But here, did it again go sideways? It did not change the level, right? It didn't change the level. It was at 800 in between this and this. It was here only. Did it change the level? Seems to be, right? Change the level, which means 820 could be becoming a support now. See, the stock is completely sideways, right? Now, do you agree? This was the point, it came out and then it went back, right? So, right? This was the first swing. The swing is this big, right? It's very big, 820 to 32, almost 10, 12 rupees swing, right? Now, you will be expecting an entry closer to this level, right? Okay. So let's see. From here, it started breaking the lows. Okay. From here, it started breaking the lows. Then it again went to this level, right? Then it came here. Then it went to this level. Then it say came here or say here, wherever. Over here. Okay. Do you see it's a higher swing? This is a lower swing. So it is losing momentum, correct? Yep. So it is losing momentum. So there is no point in looking at it because it might again fall towards 620 or may be outside. Okay. Now, fine, no problem. Next day it opens, it didn't go toward 820. Okay. It's not going towards 820, right? But it sort of took support at 820. So the next level for it is 840. Okay, what you're learning is stocking the stock. Okay, now this is 840 and this day also was 840, right? When you tried trading it, it again closed in the range, right? It didn't move, correct? This day was also 840, this day is also in between the range. So, okay, no problem. Did it change the range? All right. If it changed the range, if it changed the range, then most likely it will, uh, for it, 840 is support and 860 is resistance, correct? Right. Now, you use the same method and it's quite evident that you wouldn't have made the entry, right? Even if I draw the lines, hardly matters. You wouldn't have made the entry, correct? These 2 days are the same range, right? These 2 days are the same range. When these 2 days are the same range, this is the day when it changed the range, correct? Then most likely you will think that 860 is a support, right? 860 is a support and it should go up, right? So that is what will come to your mind. So 880. Okay, now let's look at this structure. Guys, you started from here, right? It went to this level, 820 levels, correct? Didn't you ultimately reach 880? Even after doing one short, one long, whatever, the price from this level actually went to this level, right? Yes or no? Correct? And please remember, delete, 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 delete. On this day when it fell, it broke two crucial levels, right? Two crucial levels, 860 and 840. This one, right? 860 and 840. Don't you think it first built support around 840? Then it went, it closed above 860, built support, and after it had built support, it started moving up. Yes or no? So, from an investor perspective, when this happened, say whenever on whatever was the date, 5th of July, when it is closing on 30th of July, is it not that investors actually entered this stock? They did not exit the stock. Yes or no? Right? And when they did so, don't you think that in the month of August, it was trying to swing higher, right? And the investors are sitting somewhere here, right? Somewhere at this area, okay? Somewhere at this area. And only after this area was given up, those positions, whatever positions were left out, those positions were cut, correct? So this tells you about position building. So please remember that whenever there are big positions in the system, over the next coming few days, they will get covered. Okay? They will all get covered, right? And please remember, you cannot stay short in the cash market. Don't forget about it. You can only stay long in the cash market. You cannot stay short in the cash market. Am I right or wrong? So when this great fall happened, at 3:30 everybody was long, right? Long means only investors, no speculators, correct? So it is held by only investors, purely investors, right? There's no speculator. Now what can happen that on the next day maybe more investor selling might come, correct? So more investor selling might come. Did that happen? The answer is no. There was selling, but it was not as bad as the last day, correct? So it is not as bad as the last day, and we see that when this has cooled off, the price stayed below this low. Yes or no? So what was it telling us? That there is supply. This is how we find out, right? कि सप्लाई है अभी ये सप्लाई में चल रहा है ना? तो अगर ये सप्लाई में चल रहा है तो एक शॉट हम प्लेस कर सकते हैं. एग्रीड? तो एक शॉट बनता है, एक शॉट हम कर सकते हैं, इसमें मिल जाएगा हमको कुछ, ठीक है? एक शॉट हम कर सकते हैं. मान लो वो शॉट हमने इस दिन पे किया था, इस वाले दिन पे, जो भी दिन था वो, ठीक है, हमने वो शॉट किया था, ऑलराइट, और शॉट खत्म हो गया, ठीक है, उसके बाद ये 838 के ऊपर क्लोज हो गया, राइट? ये वापस इस लो के अंदर आ गया, इस कैंडल के अंदर आ गया, देखो, राइट? अब अगर ये इस कैंडल के अंदर आ गया तो अब लाइक्लीहुड क्या है? व्हाट इज द लाइक्लीहुड? द लाइक्लीहुड इज इट विल ट्रैवल टुवर्ड्स 870 नाउ. Okay, now if it is traveling towards 870, do you think it traveled towards 870 actually? Right? Now when it traveled towards 870 or above, okay, the day it did that, don't you think a high of 874.80 was formed? Right? And it took some time to negotiate this high. See, 885. So in between, it started building some new highs also, which is say 876.60. Now on this day, did it clearly close above this? 850, 885, right? And finally, it changed the levels further. It went to 900. See, all this happening within the same month. So please do not consider कि कुछ गिर गया है, थोड़ा वो हो गया है तो रिबाउंड नहीं कर सकता, या कुछ चढ़ गया है तो गिर नहीं सकता. ऐसा नहीं होता स्टॉक मार्केट में, ठीक है? हम उस चीज को ट्रेड करना पसंद करते हैं जिसमें पोजीशंस बहुत हाई हो. क्यों? पोजीशंस हाई होने का मतलब होता है मूवमेंट होना, ठीक है? अब मान लीजिए इस वाले दिन पे इन्वेस्टर्स सेल कर गए, ठीक है, हमको तो यही समझ में आ रहा है ना कि इन्वेस्टर्स सेल कर गए हैं. What do you understand? Investors have sold it off, right? It's a red candle, it's a downward direction. So definitely there is selling. Report is also telling us there is selling. But boss, if it is selling, somebody caught hold of the 17 lakh quantity, right? कोई किसी ना किसी ने, लोगों ने खरीदा ना इसको, कूड़े के डब्बे में तो फेंक नहीं सकते, right? So people bought it. Now if people bought it, positions are made, right? Now if the positions are made and next day the market starts slipping again, like the stock starts slipping again, will they not get jittery? And they will not try to get rid of this stock? कि गलती हो गई यार, बाद में देखेंगे. Yes or no? Correct? So position building once happens, if big position buildings happen, that ensures that there would be momentum and movement in the stock. नीचे हो ऊपर हो अपने को फर्क नहीं पड़ता, हम तो किसी भी तरफ ट्रेड कर देते हैं, ठीक है? ट्रेडर्स के हाथ में जो सबसे बड़ा बेनिफिट होता है वो ये होता है कि वो लॉन्ग भी जा सकता है, वो शॉर्ट भी जा सकता है। इन्वेस्टर के पास सिर्फ एक ही तरीका होता है, इन्वेस्टर हैज ओनली वन वे टू ट्रेड द मार्केट विच इज लॉन्ग। इन्वेस्टर can't trade it short. That is why when the markets are falling, okay, they enter. When the markets are rising, they exit. Because they don't have any other way. They can't trade short. So if there is a recession, they can't do anything. They cannot go short. If they're investors, they cannot hold a stock in a short position. It's impossible. Right? So for big long-term investors, okay, it is very important that the markets keep correcting. Right? And their methods are that मान लो रिसेशन आ जाता है, ठीक है, पिछला रिसेशन कब आया था? When did the market crash? Crash means going to 50%, 40% kind of levels. 2007, 2008, right? What was the level of Nifty that time? Okay, 3000, right? अब मुझे ये बताओ, अब मान लो दोबारा रिसेशन आ जाता है, कुछ हो जाता है, क्रैश हो जाती है मार्केट, अभी का लेवल चल रहा है मान लो 10,000, 11,000, 11,000, right? It crashes badly and it goes to 5,000 levels. Is it still higher than 3,000? Getting the point how investors will interpret this. If something has to go terribly wrong, it will first have to break 3,000 levels on Nifty, right? Correct? Where is our Sensex right now, roughly? Sensex, not Nifty. Roughly 35,000, right? Okay. When the crash of 2008 happened, it went to what levels? 10, below 10,000, right? So roughly 10,000, round figure. So if the market will have to crash, it will have to break that 10,000 mark on Sensex. Only then that recession has any value. Otherwise, it is an investment opportunity for investors. Do you understand this? Okay. So investors are always look out for these falls, for these big falls. They're always waiting, eagerly waiting, patiently waiting. You will find that whenever there is a great rise, investors are exiting, right? After that, more or less, it will come down. It can't sustain. Okay. The same way, if it falls with great intensity, right? If it falls with great intensity, it's very hard to hold it down because people have also bought. Now, say for example, the next day also people got jittery, right? When people got jittery, they would have sold off, correct? Sell karo, sell karo, sell karo, sell karo, right? Even then, when they're selling, somebody is buying. Again, sell karo, sell karo, sell karo, sell karo, sell karo, sell karo. Finally, kya? The last seller would have sold from the other markets. Go the other way around. Make sense? Okay. Now, from the intraday perspective, do you see when this happened, when this thing happened, this was the last swing. This is the place from where it has fallen. Do you agree? This is the place from where it has fallen. And this swing, this particular swing, okay, this swing started from somewhere here at this place, right? Correct? At this place. Okay. Now, don't you think the level below this was 280? Okay. And below that was 800. Don't you think it build support at 820 only? Okay. From where it fell, from this kind of a level, okay, this level was almost 900, right? Okay, not even 900. Above this would be 920, right? 920. Above this is 940. Okay, so 930, 920 to 940. Do you think you're seeing some patterns? This is exactly where people exited. This is exactly where people entered. Evident? ये पैटर्न हूबहू रिपीट होगा. ठीक है. अब आपको ये ध्यान रखना है always, if it is falling with great intensity and if it is going down, okay, the most profitable trades would be made on the upside. But you will have to wait for some time. ऐसा नहीं अगले दिन ही लॉन्ग कर दिया तो करोड़पति बन जाएंगे, नहीं. It will have to, the price will have to retrace. It will have to build a bottom. It will build a bottom and will start going up. The same way, if you see a green candle going up, huge volumes, what comes to your mind? Investors sold off and they exited. देखो प्राइस अच्छा मिल रहा था ना, करेक्ट. इन्वेस्टर की साइकोलॉजी क्या होगी? यार प्राइस बहुत बढ़िया मिल रहा है यार, ऊपर जा रहा है, 10% और मिल रहा है, बेचो यार, थोड़ी क्वांटिटी तो निकालो, 50% का प्रॉफिट बुक करो. आप अगर इन्वेस्टर होते नहीं करते ऐसा, राइट? नाउ से फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू बॉट अराउंड दिस लेवल, as it will progress, won't you like to offload some quantity, say at 900, then at 920, then say at 940, and so on, right? The same thing. Investors are no different, right? They have the same logics. Okay. So when they are doing it, when the markets are going up, people are selling actually. हमको ये लगता है कि when markets are going down, the people are selling, and when markets are going up, people are buying. It is not. It is the other way around. Okay. So investors are actually, when this price will be rising, they will be exiting out of this. Okay. And there would be a last seller, and after a last seller, there would be a great fall. Okay. Now this fall looks to be somewhere here only, but it will be a great fall means that the price will start coming down. It will try to build support somewhere. Okay. फिर कहीं पे position बनेगा, right? Then again, somewhere the positions would be held. From there, the stocks will start rising. Okay. Short covering will happen. Okay. Make sense? So our trading bid will be that on a rolling month. Okay. In a rolling month, if you see this sort of a humongous kind of a breakout happening, this is humongous, right? 6 times, 5 times, 10 times, 15 times kinds, right? All this is big. Yes or no? Generally होता है, रोज होगा 3 गुना, 4 गुना, 10 गुना, 8 गुना ब्रेकआउट्स नहीं होंगे ना. अब देखो, अगस्त शुरू हो गया, करेक्ट. 6,22 lakhs, सो वीक है, उतना बड़ा नहीं है, पर 3 टाइम्स तो है, 3 टाइम्स से भी ज्यादा है. यस और नो? ओके. और इस दिन पे हुआ क्या? ओपनिंग हुई 930 पे एंड it closed at around 920, correct? 930 पे closing, 920 पे last price. Okay. So what all levels would it have touched? It would have touched 940 and 920, correct? So it has marginally touched 940 and then it touched 920. Now, if you look at the structure, did it close within a range? It didn't break a range and close down, right? See, it is opening 930. Then either it closes above 940 or it closes below 920. Yes or no? Hi, Anna. Right? Getting my point? Okay. यहाँ जाके समझ में आया कि ओके अभी शॉर्ट है, right? Next day when it cooled off, we saw that the closing is below the previous low, right? Correct? Okay. Next day, you will try to see that, okay, what was the level which it cracked? It cracked a level which was 920 because it seems that it has changed levels, right? Now, the opening is around 940, 904. So you will try to on 7th of August. Let's see. So you are trying to short 920 levels, right? And what is the date? Seventh, huh? This day. Okay. Now let's see. The price tried going up. This seems to be the first swing. This place. Only starting here, the low started breaking. So it should have come down. Did it come down? It never came down. So it was not tradable. So what did it do? It went back and closed above 920. Chalo, koi baat nahi. So it took support actually. All right, no problems. Now let's see if it closed inside this candle. So it basically closed inside 902, right? So most likely now it is going towards 942, right? Okay, 942 तक travel करना चाहिए. Do you think it traveled? It failed, but it traveled, right? Now, when it is traveling to 942 levels, it formed a resistance around 945, correct? Okay, so it reassured that okay, 940 is a kind of resistance, whatever it has formed here. It's getting reascertained. Now, what will you expect? The price should go up from here, right? It should break out this 945 high and close comfortably and then keep moving up, right? That is what will come to your mind. Yes or no, right? Now the next day onwards, do you think 800, now we were expecting it will close up. Now it closed at 885.40, and if you look at it, after this day, the lowest low was formed at 896.75, right? This was the swing, right? Do you think so? This was the low. Is it lower than the low? Right? So, so if it is lower than that low, then it should try to swing downwards. Okay, so there could be a short trade, right? There could be a short trade, and most obvious level would be 900. Most obvious level would be 900. Okay, why? Because it changed level, it came to 885, right? So the level below is 880 and the level above. So 880 should be a support, right? And 900 should be a resistance, correct? Okay. Next day it went to 900, but I don't think you will be able to trade this. It went to 900. Okay, but I don't think because it just have touched 900. It never went up and then came down. Okay. Now, in the meantime, do you think 880 was in a state of becoming a strong support? Because every time it was trying to go below 880, it was bouncing back, bouncing back, bouncing back. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. Now the method of finding out that is it able to form a firm support, okay, is that see, on this day you wanted to short 900 levels, you didn't get it. Next day anyways it didn't go to 900, but it went to 880. It's failing, it's closing, it's not able to close, it's not able to change the level and make 880 a resistance that you can short, correct? Now if it is not able to do that, do you think it went below 880, it came back at 889 and closed? Right. Then the next swing was, it went briefly below 880 and it came back and closed at 882.85. Next day it again went below this level and it came back and it closed at 881. Correct. Now, when this thing is happening, okay, with this thing happening, do you think it is forming a lower high? See, a lower high, right? Over here. So it was forming a lower high, right? See, एक lower high बन रहा है, 880 पे चल रहा है, करेक्ट? 880 पे चल रहा है, एक लोअर हाई बनता जा रहा है, लोअर हाई बनता जा रहा है, यहाँ पे वो हायर हाई बना है, right? Did it form a higher low also? And coincidentally, if you look at it, don't you think that it has made a higher closing also? Everything is higher. All three parameters, important parameters, are higher, right? So what comes to our mind? That the support generation of 880 is done. At 880, if it had to create a support that is created, now it will break up on the upside. Okay. Now the next day, don't you think it did not even care about going to 880? Because if you look at it, it closed at around 893. So now what is the next level? The next level should be that it will break on the upside, not on the downside. Right? Data बता रहा है आपको. दूसरा चीज, इतना एविडेंस होता है मतलब स्टॉक मार्केट में कि आप मतलब अगर इसके बाद भी गलत हो जाते हो तो मतलब इट इज वेरी sad actually. Now when it changed the levels, see, it changed the levels and it came wherever uh, below 900 levels, right? It happened on this day, correct? There was some sort of a delivery quantity, right? When this support formation was happening, was it not happening at less selling compared to this? Right? So if I look at it, all this is lesser sellings. So there's scarcity. When the supports are formed, it should be formed with scarcity, not great selling. But see, on this day when it broke 920, that would have been our level, right? To book profits. Now, when it broke 921, was it not with great selling? Correct? And it's only after that, see, it again broke 880 levels. ठीक है? पॉइंट नंबर 1 क्या सीखा है? किस टाइप के स्टॉक्स को ट्रेड करना है? व्हाट आर द काइंड ऑफ स्टॉक्स यू वांट टू ट्रेड? Yeah, trending, but what are the kind of stocks? What will give movement? What assures movement? Not only volume, not only volume, deliverable volume. Because deliverable volume ensures that there are positions built. If there are positions, यार लोग या तो बढ़ाएंगे काटेंगे कुछ तो करेंगे ना उसका. वो काटने पिटने के चक्कर में ही the stock will get movement. Yes or no? Right? Because don't forget, 80% of the traders who trade in the market, traders I'm talking about, okay, what they will do is they will buy say 880 level and they will see that 880 level के नीचे चला गया 860 पे चला गया तो they will say okay यार कल आ जाएगा ऊपर, right? तो वो डिलीवरी ले लेते हैं उसकी, right? और ये वाला जो दिन होता है ये these days, okay, उसमें ऐसे ट्रेडर्स भी होते हैं, उसमें इन्वेस्टर भी होता है, उसमें ट्रेडर भी होता है. इन्वेस्टर जो है वो अपना ये सब जो है महीने में एक बार ही शायद खोल के देखता है कि अच्छा यार अभी क्या है, ओके यार फाइन, अब जब अगली बार गिलेगा जरा बता देना, जरा फोन कर देना, राइट? सो investor would be looking at it once in a month, right? And there are teams, he will not put an order, right? उसके 4 नौकर होंगे जो ये काम करते होंगे, करेक्ट? ओके, बट इसमें इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ मान लीजिए देयर वुड बी एमेच्योर ट्रेडर्स आल्सो, राइट? जिसको कि ऐसा लगा था कि यार 880 से बाउंस करेगा पर नीचे क्लोज हो रहा था तो उसने कवर नहीं किया अपनी पोजीशन को, डिलीवरी ले लिया. अब वो या तो अगले दिन खुश हो जाएगा या फिर अगले दिन डर जाएगा, करेक्ट? अगले दिन या अगले 2-3 दिन में, यस और नो? तो वो मार्केट की प्राइस को मूव करेगा. That is what will start inducing, along with the speculator, it will start inducing the movement in the market. Okay, because वो अनाप शनाप ऑर्डर्स लगाएगा. वो जब बहुत डर जाएगा तो 880 पे बाई किया था ना, वो देखेगा कि अच्छा चलो लेट मी एग्जिट एट 866, उसको नहीं मिलेगा. ओके ओके, लेट मी एग्जिट एट 863, he will not get it. My god, let me exit at 850, he'll put an order which is 850. Getting my point? कि यार मुझे तो निकलना है यार, 850 लगाओ यार, खत्म करो. How does the price jump? All of a sudden you will see there is a drop in price. 850 पे चला गया, बुड़ुम से गिरा, एक लो बनाया, फट से वापस आ गया, वापस 800 मान लो 60 पे आ गया. ओके, पर एक लो बन गया 850. तो ये जितने भी एमेच्योर ट्रेडर्स होंगे ये यही काम करते हैं सारा दिन बैठ के टर्मिनल पे. ओके, and these are the guys who will actually move, create that swing in the price. Okay, the swing in the price would be created by them only. Investors will provide support to the market. ये जो अभी आपने एग्जांपल देखा है, इन्वेस्टर्स आर प्रोवाइडिंग सपोर्ट टू द मार्केट. ओके, ये जो रेजिस्टेंस आता है और ये जो सपोर्ट आता है मार्केट में, ये इन्वेस्टर ड्रिवन होता है, ये ट्रेडर ड्रिवन नहीं होता है. ये जो बीच की मूवमेंट होती है ये ट्रेडर ड्रिवन होता है, पर ये जो सपोर्ट्स एंड रेजिस्टेंसेस होते हैं ये इन्वेस्टर ड्रिवन होते हैं. क्लियर? अब मान लीजिए ये वाला दिन था ना, which told us that okay, there is a great deal of this thing happening. बहुत पोजीशन बन गया है, right? And the position, see, the candle was on the downside. So anyways, if it is selling, somebody has also bought. So levels below this are buying levels and levels above this are selling levels. You know that, right? Now, let's see. Did it close below? Below the next level, 902? Okay. It returned back to 929 after this big event. Okay. 929, but with great selling. Unbelievable, right? Next day, it is pretty much within the same level. Next day, did it change the level to the downside? Okay. Again, it came back and changed the level above 920. Okay. Now, it went to 940. Correct? 940.60. Now, when it went to 940.60, on this day, what did we do? What did we say? That 940 and 920, these are the two levels in which this candle has been formed. Right? And please remember, when the candle was formed, neither it closed clearly above 940, nor it closed clearly below 920. Right? If you look at the previous month candle, it closed below. So it was telling us that it tried making us a resistance at a point, okay, which could be validated, correct? Now see, it went to 940. It closed above that level where the line is 940. Did it return back? Right. Okay. Now the next day, when it opened, see, it went above 940, correct? It closed. उस लेवल के ऊपर क्लोज हो रहा है, राइट? नीचे से खुल रहा है, ऊपर क्लोज हो रहा है. इस दिन ये ऊपर से खुल के नीचे क्लोज नहीं हो रहा है. 940 के. Is it not opening below and closing above? And is this not closing above, opening above and closing below 940? Yes or no? Right? Is it not following the conventional pattern of building resistance? What have been taught to you? So does it reconfirm that yes, 940 is a resistance? Correct? Right? Okay. When it was going down, 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 and down, let's look at it. So the level that it broke is 920. Okay. Next day, it opened at 928.70. Did it close down? 904. It's opening below. Did it close up? So is it kind of telling us that 920 is a support? Yes or no? Right? That more or less like 920 should hold on this. Should hold on this. Correct? So there's a lot of evidence on the reports. Lot of evidence. Okay. Now the thing is that you would like to trade this day when the range is broken. And on this one, it's too tiny a range. It's just a 20 rupees range. Nothing. Small. Right? 20 rupees is how much? 2%, correct? roughly 2%. So the stock literally moved only 10 rupees. If you see, it opened at 930 and it closed at around 920, right? Over here, if you would have had a candle which has moved say 40 rupees, will it be more easier to trade that? Within the range, I'm talking. Even within the range, if you want to trade that, it will be lucrative because out of that 4%, you can expect you will get 2%, right? Half of the moves you can make. Yes or no? Right? So, price, very important, very important, very important. Where is the price? Look at the price also. The previous example of Titan, the same stock, when it broke out in the month of July, we looked at July, right? We took a rolling example this day, correct? It opened at around 869 and it's closing at 836. Is it not almost how much? 30 rupees, right? 3.5%, 4% of the stock value, correct? Right? And in this process, it broke 840 also, right? See, it closed below 840, so it was at least leaving some clue for us that 840 level most likely is a resistance, correct? The same way on the top, it was 860 level. Okay, so it was a 4 rupees. So even within the range, within 840 and 860 also, if you want to trade it, right? At least the high, look at the high, 870, look at the low, it is a 40, almost 40 rupees move. So a 40 rupee move on a 800 rupee stock or a 900 rupee stock is 4%. So out of 4%, 1.5 to 2% is doable. निकाल सकते हो आराम से, कोई परेशानी नहीं है इतनी. ठीक है ना? अब देखो नीचे गिर रहा है, नीचे का लेवल क्या है? 840, राइट? गिरने दो, गिरने दो, गिरने दो, गिरने दो, गिरने दो, आ गया वापस 840. कर दो ट्रेड ऊपर, 870 पे जाएगा, खत्म हो गई बात. इतना क्या है? Okay, does it make sense? Let's look at Yes Bank. Trainees yesterday made big bucks in Yes Bank. 100% return on capital. See Yes Bank. Sorry, this is July. देखो, कुछ लग रहा है ना, कुछ बात है, right? 40 lakhs roughly, 11 crore, 57 lakhs, correct? कुछ तो हुआ है, right? मतलब it is inviting traders now to make big money. Now, if this has happened, let's look at the candle. It opened at around 287.30, right? And it closed at around 225 rupees, right? So is it a red or a green? Like, was the direction down or up? What is the range? If you look at it, what is the range? Right? It is more than what, 50, 60 rupees, right? So the overall range is 60 rupees, and 60 rupees range is actually what? Almost 3% of the overall this thing means 30% movement, correct? So the range is 30%. अब यार 30% में से तो फिर मुश्किल नहीं है ना, making some सिर्फ हमारे हिसाब से 40-50% return on capital, right? Now, what did this indicate? Now, let's look at Yes Bank first. So every 10 rupees, it is the underwriters are sitting and they are, you know, active. They are active. Okay. Now, on this day, did it tell us that the last price is 225 and at the bottom 220 is a support? Yes or no? Because it dropped below 220 if you look at it, and it came back and it returned at 225. So 220 is a support, correct? So if it has to fall down, right, it will have to try and build resistance around 220. Okay, now the next day, let's look at it. It was a top, yes, yesterday it was a top gainer on the pre-open list. Okay, in the pre-open list, it was a top gainer, top. Okay, now look at the structure. It is 220 is the support. Now it went below this again. 220 could not sustain. It came back. ऊपर आ गया, right? तो 240 पे क्या लग रहा है? सॉरी 220 पे क्या लग रहा है? गड़बड़ है ना? मतलब गिर नहीं पा रहा है, बड़ा तकलीफ हो रही है इसको. Is having a big problem over here. Even look at this. It went below 200, closed above 220. Correct? Now, where is the high? The high is 237.50, correct? Okay. Now let's look at it. Is it opening at 230? ठीक है. तो अभी इसको देख के क्या समझ में आ रहा है कि the resistance is sitting at 230 and the support is sitting at 225 जो next day का trading था. रेजिस्टेंस को नहीं तोड़ा, सॉरी सपोर्ट को नहीं तोड़ा, नीचे तोड़ ही नहीं पा रहा है, करेक्ट. डिड इट फॉर्म अ न्यू रेजिस्टेंस लेवल विच इज एट 230, करेक्ट. अब देखिए अगले दिन पे इट इज गोइंग अबव 230, ठीक है. 230 पे रेजिस्टेंस पड़ा है और ऊपर इंट्राडे का लेवल क्या लगा हुआ है? वो लगा हुआ है 237.50 पे. देखें इस वाले दिन पे जो हाई ये फॉर्म करके बैठा हुआ है वो यहाँ पे बैठा हुआ है, इस वाली जगह पे, राइट. इस वाली जगह पे ये ऑलरेडी हाई बना करके बैठा हुआ है, विच इज अबव दिस लेवल ऑफ अंडरराइटर्स लेवल ऑफ 330. यस और नो? क्योंकि हम ये कह रहे हैं कि 330 पे रेजिस्टेंस फॉर्मेशन हो गई है, एक न्यू रेजिस्टेंस फॉर्मेशन हो चुकी है, राइट. यहां पे ये देखिए, करेक्ट. नाउ लेट्स लुक एट इट. डिड इट गो अप? देखो ये तो नीचे पड़ा है, ये पिछले दिन का हाई है ना यहाँ पे, दैट इज ऑल्सो रेजिस्टेंस, करेक्ट. डिड इट गो अबव द हाई? Now people are expecting that it will slip down to 230 levels to build support, right? पर हमको डेटा देख के पता है कि 220 लेवल पे सपोर्ट पड़ा है, ठीक है. अब यहां से from this place say the lows have to start breaking, right? So let's see, did it start breaking here? And it broke here, right? So it went till this point, correct. Then it swinged high. Correct? Then it started breaking lows. So, is the structure okay? स्ट्रक्चर ठीक आ रहा है, राइट? अब यहां से देखिए, इसने स्विंग हाई किया. अब मुझे ये बताओ, at around this candle, was it clear that it is trying to go for swing low? This candle confirmed that it is going for swing low, right? You should have placed your target at 220. Okay, so you are entering the trade at around 232, right? And you are exiting at around 220. How many rupees per share? 12. 12 is how much of say a 300 rupee stock? 4%. 4% for us is almost 80% return on capital. तो वर्थ इट है ना? थोड़ा सा टाइम स्पेंड करो, मेहनत करो. 80% बैंक से निकालने में पसीने छूट जाएंगे, मतलब 8 साल लग जाएंगे आपको, 8-10 साल. ठीक है, यहाँ तो 1 महीना भी मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती. ओके, सो पॉइंट नंबर 1, क्या करते हैं? वॉच लिस्ट में किसको लेके आना है? जिसके वॉल्यूम्स हाई हो, प्राइस, वॉल्यूम एंड डिलीवरेबल क्वांटिटी. तो रोलिंग मंथ में जब आप ट्रेड करते हो, रोलिंग मंथ में देखो, अभी तक क्या देख रहे थे हम लोग? हिस्टोरिकल. से लास्ट मंथ टू प्रीवियस मंथ में क्या हुआ है? Am I right? We said that we will create a watch list where, say, the August volumes, August price, August deliverable on any day was higher than July, correct? And we will create a list. That will be my watch list, right? Along with this, you can also look at the rolling month. And within the rolling month, if you're looking at the current month, current, try to spot these kind of activities. These are big bugs. See? और जितना बड़ा रेंज उतना बड़ा प्रॉफिट. रेंज जितनी बड़ी, the opportunity is bigger, whether long or short, whatever. However, if you look at Yes Bank, okay, anyways. Now in Yes Bank, what was the low? 318 on this day. Okay. So what is the obvious level on the downside? The obvious level on the downside would be how much? 210, correct? 210, right? Now, it's 210 on the downside. Did it go below 210? The answer is yes, it even went below 200. So the volatility is still high, right? So now, do you think it actually opened above 230? Okay, it opened above 230 and it is closing still, or say it is closing below 230. Did it do the same thing here? 236. So it is opening above 230 and is closing below 230. Okay. So it is kind of giving you indication that 230 is a sort of resistance level. Okay. Which it has formed. Okay. Now, whenever it is going below this low, it is attracting investors. Do you see this? Why is this such a sharp? It should have comfortably closed below 218, no? Yes or no? What is the problem? There's no problem, no? हाँ या ना? अब देखो, इस स्ट्रक्चर को हम समझते हैं थोड़ा. ओके, करंट मंथ का है. Whenever it is going below 218, it should close comfortably, no? Where is the problem? There should be no problem. It's a bearish stock. It should fall. It should close. It should collapse. Should go to 25 rupees tomorrow, right? But see, whenever it is breaking the lows, see, it went to 197.25. It is making the stock more difficult to become bearish. And I'll tell you why. See, on this day, did it make a low of 215? So if the stock has to further get bearish, it should be closing below 215 now. Because it's a swing low below this, right? Now, yesterday's low is 197.25. Correct? 197.25. Now is it making it further more difficult to get it bearish? Now it will have to close below 197.25. Right? So today's trading, it should close below 197. Only then it will indicate further bearishness in the stock. Make sense? Otherwise, investors are making it difficult. And yesterday was anyways their meeting, no? Board meeting. Okay. So otherwise, investors are making it very, very difficult. Extremely difficult for this stock to become bearish. Because see, for them, they are getting a throwaway price, right? आइडियली अगर आप देखो तो एक 350-400 रुपए का स्टॉक 200 रुपए पे मिल रहा है, राइट? और वो भी ऐसा तो नहीं कोई सड़क का बैंक है. मेरा भी अकाउंट है इसमें. ओके, ऐसा भी नहीं है कि कोई सड़क पे पड़ा हुआ, मतलब कोई फालतू सा बैंक है, राइट? करेक्ट. अगर ये अपने आप को बेचना भी चाहेगा तो भी लिक्विडेट हो जाएगा. करेक्ट. इनके इनके गिरने का जो प्रॉब्लम समझ में आया है वो ये आया है कि इनके रिपोर्टिंग में कुछ इश्यूज हैं. ठीक है. अब मुझे एक बात बताओ, मेरे पास मान लो एक सी क्लास पड़ी है, ठीक है, गाड़ी है, राइट? अब हाँ, सी योर प्रॉब्लम. नाउ अब एक सी क्लास पड़ी हुई है, ठीक है. अब मुझे ये बताओ कि यार मैं कहता हूं कि यार वो जो सी क्लास है ना, वो उसका इंश्योरेंस जो है वो एक्सपायर हो रहा है 28 सितंबर को, ठीक है. 28 सितंबर को उसका इंश्योरेंस एक्सपायर होगा. नाउ व्हाट यू डू इज you open the car, open the dashboard, there's a photostat which is lying there. Okay. You take it out and you check it and it tells you that it expires on 27th. Getting my point? Now, just because I told you that it is expiring on 28th and you found out it is on 27th, will it depreciate the value of my car? ठीक है, एक एग्जांपल और लेते हैं. I have a flat, okay, here, which I want to sell. Okay. Now, the square feet area of that flat is roughly 2800 square feet. Now I will also not remember it always, right? Okay. Now there is a buyer who comes to me and I quote a price, and he's very interested because the dealer has already shown him the flat and he has liked it. Okay. Now he asks me a question. Sir, ये कितना स्क्वायर फीट का है? Roughly 2800 स्क्वायर फीट का है, right? अब वो कहता है ओके फाइन, आप मेरे को फोटोस्टेट दिखा सकते हैं, पेपर एंड ऑल दैट. ओके, आई विल से ओके या इट्स लाइंग विद द डीलर, सी व्हाट यू वांट. And he finds out it is 2797 square feet. It's not 2800 square feet. It is 22,797 square feet. Will it depreciate the value of my flat? Okay. So I'm just trying to connect these things with real life. ये सब रियल लाइफ की प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, ठीक है. अब कोई किसी को लग रहा है कि देखो व्हाट इज आरबीआई, आरबीआई को रिपोर्टिंग से बहुत मतलब है. क्यों? बिकॉज they sit outside a bank, right? And whatever has gone wrong with the public sector has all gone wrong because of reporting, correct? So now after Raghuram Rajan, now he's gone, okay, he got in that aggression along with him that okay, please don't just sit and sign on currency notes, also look at other parameters, right? So now reporting has become very important. Now look at, pick up any PSU sector. You, who was the pioneer in telecom? BSNL, MTNL, right? Dole drums. They don't even exist. And it doesn't mean that telecom did not flourish, right? We went from those pulse dialing to now mobile phone 4G, correct? Very soon there would be 5G. What did BSNL do? Nothing. Why? Because reporting issues. Understood, correct? Air India, Indian Airlines, whatever. These are all big conglomerate PSUs. Like people look up to them. All reporting problems. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे देखिए कि in this kind of a situation, it is purely what? The asset is not depreciating, right? What is depreciating is that the credibility in the market, and credibility with a very important stakeholder in the market, which is Reserve Bank of India. He's a very important stakeholder in the market, right? So the credibility of Yes Bank is currently extremely poor with RBI. Now, is it going to stay like this forever? कितने दिन रहेगा यार? 15 दिन, 20 दिन, 30 दिन, उसके बाद देखोगे कि यार जो गवर्नर है और इसका जो सीईओ है वो एक ही रेस्टोरेंट में बैठ करके खाना खा रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो all these are temp problems, ठीक है? Now when these are temp problems, you monitor the temp problems. If you think that it is becoming difficult to fall and fall, now कोई अनाड़ी देखेगा तो उसको ये लगेगा कि यार ये प्राइस तो गिर रहा है, राइट? पर आप ये नहीं देख रहे हो कि ये कितना डिफिकल्ट बना दे रहा है इस प्राइस को गिरने में, फर्दर बियरिश होने में. मतलब लो बना दिया 197.25 का, इसका मतलब इसके नीचे क्लोजिंग देनी पड़ेगी ना यार बियरिश होने के लिए. गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो unless it closes below 197.25 in the coming few days, it is useless. This low was basically a low which was an impulse low, right? इसका मतलब अब ये हाई की तरफ मूव करने की शुरुआत कर देगा, ऊपर जाने की शुरुआत कर देगा, ठीक है? So please monitor these stocks. Okay, whenever this kind of a thing happens, it tells us that there would be volatility, and if we trade it correct in the right way, okay, we can make very big bucks out of this. Okay, so what is important is these levels. ये levels समझ में आ रहे हैं आपको? ठीक है? And it is all connected with all this. ठीक है? ये समझ में आया? Swings. इसको थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा आपको प्रैक्टिकली, क्योंकि इसमें थोड़ी थोड़ी गलतियां होंगी स्टार्टिंग में. You'll go wrong slightly somewhere. Okay. So is this technical? Are we using the same concept of higher highs, higher lows? Lower highs, lower lows? Correct? We are picking the information. We are picking the stock based on fundamental analysis. Right? Then we wait for the stock to trend. Right? Okay. Then we identify the price level. Yes or no? We identified the price level. Correct? Now, when we identify the price level, we will try to trade that level. Now, when you will try to trade that level, you will either want to trade it long or you will try to trade it short. Correct? You will do the opposite thing if you want to go long. This is a short example, but the same thing. Say, for example, let's look at it. Say 200 levels, right? So it went down, right? This is breaking both sides, so I don't know. Okay. Now, did it start breaking highs? Correct? From this location, it started breaking highs, right? So can I comfortably say that, okay, then it kept breaking highs, highs, highs? So can I say that from here, it sort of all the way went till this place, correct? Then it started breaking lows. So this is the swing low, right? Did it start breaking highs? Is the swing higher now? The swing is higher, correct? Okay. Now, the next, say, lower swing, is it higher? Because from roughly this area, it again started breaking highs, right? So is this higher? Correct? Okay. So basically it is telling you why is it not falling. It was not falling because over here it went bullish. Do you see support? इस वाली जगह पे स्विंग को तोड़ा था ना इसने ऊपर की तरफ, तो रफली इस वाले एरिया पे सपोर्ट होना चाहिए, राइट? तो यहाँ पे सपोर्ट आने लगा, राइट? तो it is the same thing. मतलब we use very simple things, right? So higher highs, higher lows. You don't have to estimate also, okay? But things which are too fast, you will never be able to trade it profitably. I mean to say, trading में क्या है, मतलब एक sell लगा दो, एक buy लगा दो. But if you want to profitably trade it, then you cannot trade this movement. But can't you trade this movement? This is slow enough, right? For you to think, see, analyze, enter. Yes or no? Correct? The same way, on any given day, for example, I'm taking a random day, okay? This is a full day, right? Guys, can you give me just 5 minutes? We'll just continue, okay? In 5 minutes, huh? We'll continue from here. Can you guys hear me? Okay, fine. Okay, guys, I'm back. Are you there? Can you hear me? Okay. Now, मैंने कोई भी रैंडम दिन उठा लिया है, ठीक है, रैंडम, कोई डेटा नहीं देखा, कुछ नहीं देखा, आई हैव सीन नथिंग इन दिस. नाउ टेल मी समथिंग. When the stock is opening, is it opening sideways? It's opening inside previous high and low. Okay, no problem. So it broke the first candle and it made a high, right? After it made a high, it was trying to break lows and it seems that it is very tight. Somewhere over here, is it clearly seen that the lows are getting broken, right? ठीक है, ये भी ले लोगे, कोई इशू नहीं है, ये भी ले लोगे, बिकॉज यहाँ पे इतना टाइट है कि दिख नहीं रहा है ठीक से. अब देखो, when whatever has happened, थोड़ा सा नीचे आया ये या शिफ्ट हुआ यहाँ से, ठीक है. This swing is clear, absolutely clear, clearly seen. And is quite big enough, 320 levels to 326 levels, correct? आप लोगों ने ranges पढ़े? All of you have learned about ranges, correct? Right? This was the first swing, clear swing of the day. So can also be treated as a what? A range, right? Now for the stock, it will be extremely difficult to break this range, especially if it has opened sideways. देख रहे हो आप? तो पिछला दिन ले लेते हैं. It's opening sideways, right? The opening is sideways, so it say broke the first candle, and then it started to swing up, right? So clearly this first swing is quite evident, right? Quite evident. Did it go below the swing? See this range, if I consider this to be range, did it bounce outside and then again came back? Okay, so on a sideways day, if it is going towards one of the what you say ranges, okay, the likelihood is it will not be able to hold it below and will try to bounce back and go towards the other side of the range. That is what is trading. Okay, so the traders in the market, they will look for these opportunities. Okay, now say for example, look at this day, the previous day. I'm randomly taking it, okay, to identify things. Now look at this day. Is it opening sideways? So the first candle got compromised, and after that, it seems that it is a very clear swing till this place, right? Okay, so it was quite a clear swing. It did it break a low in between? No. So it was absolutely clear swing, right? So one level is here, the other level is somewhere here. Agreed? Correct? Now on this day, did it clearly break the first swing and it went down? Yes or no? Correct? Right? And it broke the low. Fine, no issues. Look at this day. Is this trending opening? It's opening above the high, right? It's a trending opening. So it compromised the first candle, and then this seems to be a very clear day, right? Swing. Now it's trending, right? What will go on in my mind? Whichever side it tries to go, it will try to break that side and move. Did it break the level and go down after this trending day? Yes, no, maybe? It did, right? Now say for example, if I look at this swing, actually what should have happened? It should have broken it on the upside and gone up, right? Because it's a gap up. That is what comes to our mind, right? Was there a high sitting over here? Now let's see. There's a high sitting here, right? It came down, right? Below this low. Now we are anticipating that it should bounce from here, right? It should try to bounce from here. Now if it is wanting to bounce from here, this is anyways the first swing, right? Then after this, it started breaking lows. Came to this point, correct? Then it started to break highs, right? Okay. So let's say it broke highs till this point and it was getting bullish, right? See, it went here. Then it again started breaking highs till this point, right? Correct? But it's still lower than this high, right? Still lower than this high. No problems. Let's look at the next swing. It should go back up. So is it creating higher highs? Don't you think? Right? And now it should do what? It should break out this range on the upside. The first range that I've drawn, right? Because anyways it is on this side of the range. So it should break out on the other side of the range, correct? That is what we will anticipate. So now it is getting ready. So from here all the way to this place, right? Now it has started going above the high. So now it should go up. It's getting ready. So the next swing is formed above the high. Most likely the next swing we will try to go long in this. Started breaking lows. Still below. Started breaking highs. Now what is this? Is it not a weakness? After this, it decided to stay low, right? It tried going up. The next swing should have been somewhere like this, right? An upside, correct? Because its gap up should go up, right? Completely choppy. Not ready to leave the level, right? This is where it started, right? From here, the lows again started breaking or whatever. So now, do you think this swing high, guys, this swing high was lower than this level, the previous day level? Yes or no? Is it clearly lower? Like it was lower here? Yes or no? Did it break it down? It made a lower swing high. See here, it made a lower swing high but didn't compromise this low, right? But here, it made a lower swing high and the swing low is lower, right? Right? Correct? Got it? The swing low is low. Now see, from this particular level, it started breaking the lows, right? Correct? Now see, when this swing happened and this swing is lower, see this swing is lower, the swing is completely on this side and it is weak, right? When the swing is completely on this side and it is weak, people will start shorting in between this and this swing. Okay, now in between this and this swing, which is the level? It could be, say, this level, right? Or maybe from where it started breaking the lows, like say, for example, this level. Okay, this is entry exits. Okay. Now, by this time, while you were doing all this, it was already 2 o'clock. So you cannot expect a very big movement, but still, nevertheless, you can short this area. Are you making a loss? Okay. Now, maybe we have selected a wrong stock which doesn't have a very high position level, because of which the movement is not happening. But are you able to understand that at a level, at a significant level, it will either fall or it will go up, right? It will either start falling down or will start going up. If you have to understand the weakness or this thing, right? Please remember the next swing, if it is going up, the next swing low will be clearly above this and the price will start moving up. Okay. The same way, if you have to understand that, okay, is it weak? Then the swing has to be below this line and the next should be going down, right? Below this level, correct? So if that is the case, it will be giving you indications of what? Movement on the downside. Do you think it started moving considerably on the downside? From this day when it gapped up and it failed, it started considerable movement on the downside. And finally, whatever happened. Okay. Nobody would have anticipated this, but yeah, whatever. Is this gap up? It's gap up, right? So it should go up, right? So if it is gapping up, it should go up. Now, we do not have any levels above this, right? Because the previous level is somewhere here. So this can work as a support. Okay, now let's see. It broke out, whatever. From here to this level, is the swing clear? Right? After it started moving, it broke out this level. From this level to this level, the swing was clear, right? Because after this, it broke the high. and then it broke the low. Okay. Is it drifting to one side of the range? See, whenever I don't have a nearby high or a low, I try to use the first swing. It is very difficult to break the first swing. Only if the market is trending, then it might break onto one side of the range. Okay. So it started coming down. Okay. Are you able to understand? Started coming down. Now, till what point can it come? This point. Okay. Now, this is 395, which is roughly 4 rupees below this. So it will be a 20% return on capital kind of a trade. I might not get more than that. Okay. So when it is doing this within this range, is it getting weak or is it getting strong? So let's try and see that. It went up. And whatever, say till this point it came down. Okay, I'm not swinging it further low. Now, this swing that you see, it has already come towards, market is trending, it has already come towards one side of the range. From here, did it break high? Right, it did. Correct? So is the swing clearly below this level? Right? Now the swing is clearly below this level, and wherever it would have been, did it break the swing low also? Right? Yes or no? Did it break the swing low also? Because this was the low, the previous low. So it broke the swing low before, say, started going up. Now tell me something. So from this point till this point, below this level, from this point till this point is the shorting range. इस वाली जगह से इस वाली जगह तक, from this place to this place, right? Did it go down? Okay. So if something is breaking out, or say if it is trending, I generally think that, okay, it will, today it can break a range. It's still possible. Okay. But if something is opening sideways completely, right, then it is hard to believe, correct? You're asking about Dr. Reddy's, huh? What was the day? This was. Okay, don't go by this target. It happened, but I did not anticipate that this such a big move and touching on the lower side of the range will happen on the same day. But I generally, when I trade, I always keep my targets very big. I keep the actual targets. Then at the end of the day, I cover. Okay. Now let's see. Nothing is happening. So it broke out, right? See. So finally, it started doing something. So it went to this side. Okay. So there's some movement in the stock. Now tell me something. If you look at it, is this swing clear? Clearly visible? See, it has to leave the first candle at least, right? For doing whatever. Okay. Now, from here, let's consider it started breaking lows, right? It didn't break a high. it was breaking lows till this point, right? So the lowest low was here, correct? So this is the swing, right? Now, okay. Now, if this is the swing, okay, till this point it went high, correct? Okay. Then it again started breaking lows. Then it started breaking highs. All right. Again started breaking lows till this point. Right. Right. Till this point. Okay. Now, let's see. Is this swing lower than this? The answer is yes. Okay, fine. Now, let's see. It went up to this level. It came all the way till this point, right? Did it break the swing low? Okay. Now, in between this level and this level, okay, in between this level and this level should be a shorting zone. Okay. Is it shorting? Is it down? Correct? Just give me a second, please. All right. So strength and weakness, but this will come with practice, okay? However, I took the weekly high over here, this place, the weekly high, okay, and the stock was sideways. If I look at it, say this is 10th, right? So 10th to whatever, okay, 12th, this is 14th, right? This is 14th. So this is 1 week, okay? After 1 week, 19th, 21st. So there was a holiday in between, right? Okay. So 21st. Now, don't you think this is a weekly high and this is a weekly low? Right? So if it is a weekly high and this is a weekly low, when it will try to go above the weekly high, it will fail miserably because the stock is sideways. The stock is sideways. Why? Because the previous week, if you look at it, was somewhere here and the stock closed below this high. It was not trending, which means it is sideways. So if it is sideways, then obviously if it swings to the upper side, it should fall. If it swings to the lower side, it should rise. Correct? Yes or no? That is what we have learned. Sideways stock. If it tries to rise above, it will come down. If it tries to go below, it will go up. So if you find strength at the lower levels, you can buy. If you find strength at the higher levels, you should sell. Now the likelihood of getting bought out at this level is very poor, no? So you're keeping your odds in your favor and then you are trying to enter a trade. Got my point? Okay, guys? Okay, very good. Now, so you have learned a lot about position building, etc. now. Okay. So I would now expect that, in the live market, you will start doing all this. Please remember, do not trade with more than one quantity. Okay. In the beginning days, not more than that. All right. And tomorrow I will set you a guideline tomorrow morning that how can you start with your practical trading. ठीक है? So that after tomorrow's class, starting say Friday onwards, okay, you can practice. Please remember, Friday I'm leaving. Okay, I won't be available, and I will come back on 4th. So the next class will be on 5th after 28th. ठीक है? Okay. So tomorrow I will set you a guideline for trading. Now you know important levels. Your eyes are also trained. Okay. There should not be much of issues now. अब जो गलतियां होंगी, whatever errors you come across, we will keep fixing those errors. Okay. But you will have to be very serious about it. Now your practical career, trading career will start. Okay. Now tomorrow we will set a guideline, and day after tomorrow onwards, basically next Friday onwards, we will start correcting. So please keep a record of whatever you are doing. With one quantity, whatever you are doing, please keep a record of it, so that wherever you are going wrong, we can take that and we can correct it if required. Okay, some would be genuine stop losses, don't worry about it. Okay, not more than one quantity, and please ensure, if whether you are long or you are short, please cover your position before your broker cuts it. Otherwise, he will charge you a hefty money for cutting your position. Okay, he'll take away a lot of money from you just to cut your position. So please keep it in mind. Before the broker cuts it, you have to cut it. Okay, and please verify that you are not being charged a hefty big amount of money as brokerage for doing a small trade of say one quantity. Okay, like I do trading for say like my trainees do trading on these platforms, discount broker platforms like Zerodha, Flyer, and God knows there are few more. They take some 5 paisa 4 paisa kind of brokerage. ठीक है? So वो थोड़ा एक बार पहले देख लेना, कंफर्म कर लेना. ऐसा ना हो कि मतलब 3 रुपए की ट्रेड लगा रहे हैं और 30 रुपए का खर्चा हो जा रहा है उस पर. तो उसको थोड़ा सा हमें कंट्रोल करना है. So fine guys, so we'll meet tomorrow morning. Bye bye.